Okay, so you have you actually have two different kinds of coefficient of friction, and consequently two different kinds of friction. You have mu sub s. This is your static, which you should know means still static coefficient of friction. Still no units. That just means when it's still or not moving. So like friction that would be, for instance, holding an poor Xbox One to a rough ramp. Sorry, that was like, I don't know why the thing's there. Anyway, and you would also have, there's another kind. So like, let's look at this. This right here would have static friction because you have, let's see if this green shows up, kind of. Try this color. That works. Okay, because you would have your weight pulling down, you have a little bit less of a normal force pushing up, and then you have your, right here, force of friction. And see, because your weight really is acting and doing two things. It's balancing out your normal force, and it's also wanting to accelerate you down the ramp. But your force of friction is balancing that out. So that would be static. Now this one actually varies. Let me write that. Here is why. If you start off, for instance, with, I'm going to get rid of this. If you start off with just your, do something real quick, with just like the Xbox that's like on a flat surface. I'll draw a surface real quick. So if you have like your Xbox on a flat surface, all right, there's no friction or anything like that. So it's just kind of sitting there balancing out. So when you start to tilt this, like kind of gradually increase your incline, what starts to happen is friction's holding the Xbox to the surface, right? So right now you've got a little bit of a force of friction acting on this. So it'd be something like, think about, you know, if you went down a steep slide versus a not so steep slide or something like that. So if you have your weight and you have your normal force, which is just, this is barely on an incline, you just have a really tiny frictional force because most of your weight's still going into balancing out your normal force. But as you start to raise the incline, raise this up, and the Xbox still sticks, you're going to increase the amount that friction's acting against your weight. Because what you're doing is it's like more of your weight's going to want to pull you down as you increase the incline. So actually your static friction varies. Now your kinetic friction, that is the other one. So that would be mu sub k. Usually do kind of a little cursive k. That is kinetic. K-I-N-E. Kinetic coefficient of friction. All right, it's going to be moving. And if you think about this, once it starts accelerating down the slide, you've got pretty much the same frictional force. So this one is constant. Now, what you're going to really deal with more, you're going to be dealing with your static one. And I'll talk about that in the next video.